Hi, welcome back to Mr. Mig's Classroom. I'm Mr. Mig, and this is my classroom. And today we're going to talk about dealing with salespeople. So the reason I want to do this video is because I know there's a lot of folks out there who oftentimes get in a situation where they bought something not because they needed it, not even because they wanted it, but simply because a salesperson talked them into it. And I want to teach you how to deal with this and recognize when you're in this situation. So the first thing that you have to understand is salespeople make commission. The more they sell, the more money they make. And they, just like everybody else, are just doing a job. They just want to make money so they can pay rent, so they can eat food, so they can clothe them and their kids. That's it, right? So it's not because they have your best interest in mind. There may be some situations where it's like that, maybe with real estate agents, but in most cases with the salesperson, they don't care what the product is. They just want you to buy it. So don't think they have your best interest in mind, because they usually don't. And now this is not an attack on salespeople or anything like that. If you're a salesperson, you know what I'm talking about. But the thing is in most cases, they don't have your best interest in mind. They have their interest in mind because they have to pay the bills. So you need to recognize that. And the big thing that you need to recognize is they're really, really good at making you think they have your best interest in mind. That's why they're a salesperson, because they're really good at that. They're really good at being nice and acting like they're your buddy and making you think they're your best friend. They're really good at convincing you that they know what they're talking about, and in a lot of cases they don't. In a lot of cases they're not experts in the product or service they're selling. It couldn't matter what it is, and if you were a salesperson or are a salesperson, you understand that. Being a salesperson from one product to the next is the same for them. It's just trying to convince or persuade someone that they need or want this product. So if you're that person and you find that you have bought stuff not because you needed it or wanted it, but simply because the salesperson convinced you to do it, then you really need to listen up here, because you get frustrated, you bought something, you spent money on something you didn't need. And what usually happens is you feel obligated. The salesperson makes you feel like you owe them because they're so nice to you, or they offer you a freebie, or you take up some of their time because they're talking to you, and you end up feeling obligated. And you just got to remember one thing: you are not obligated ever to buy their product. You didn't ask them to come talk to you, they chose to talk to you. It doesn't matter if they spent days talking to you, you're not obligated to buy their product. Also, what you have to remember with salespeople is they're not looking necessarily for people who truly need their product. They're looking for people who they can convince to buy it. They don't care if you need it. They don't care if it's the best fit for you. If you're willing to buy it, they're willing to sell it to you. That's it, because that's how they make money. And so you have to recognize this. I was watching this video on the improvement pill, and this fellow talks about the law of averages. And one of the things that he talks about is how when he was a salesperson, he would have to go through about 85% of the people he went through were hard-nosed no's. So most people are going to be tough nose, and you really just have to filter through these people as a salesperson to get to the people who you can sell to. And that's what they're looking for. They're looking for the nice guy or the nice gal. So if you're one of those people, you have to start to understand how you deal with salespeople so you don't get in a situation to where you're buying things that you don't need. Because that's what they're looking for. They're looking for the person they can persuade. So if you're that person who feels like that you're feeling obligated to buy from the salesperson because they gave you a freebie, or a sample, or they were nice to you, or they spent their time, again, remember, you do not owe them anything. They chose to talk to you. You don't have to spend any money on them. It doesn't matter how long they spent talking to you. It doesn't matter what they gave you for free. They chose to give you that. You owe them nothing. Don't ever feel obligated. So when you get in these situations where you feel like you're with a hard-pressing salesperson who's high pressure and won't leave you alone, you just have to follow a few steps. Number one, just say no. Tell them clearly no, and that's it. Don't explain why you don't want the product. It's none of their business. You don't need to give them an explanation. You don't owe them anything again. You don't have to tell them that you're short on money or that you can't afford it. You don't have to tell them anything. You don't have to tell them why you don't want it. They're just going to convince you why they do. They're going to try to set up a payment plan on why you can afford it. That's it. If you don't want to spend the money on it, say no, don't say anything else. Say no, and that's it. From there, stop talking. Again, don't give them explanations, just stop talking. Say no and stop talking if you know you don't want it. And then walk away. Simply walk away from them. If you're on the phone with them, hang up. If they're in your home or in your place of business, tell them to leave. Don't feel like you're being rude. This is the other thing nice guys and nice gals get caught into. They feel like if they walk away or say no or stop talking or hang up, they're being rude. You're not being rude. They're being rude if they're not leaving when you told them you didn't want it the first time. You're not being rude by hanging up. It's your time they're taking away from you too. You don't owe them because you're spending time with them. That's your precious, valuable time. So you are not rude when you're telling them, if you clearly say, no, I don't want it. That's not rude. That's being honest. And then if they don't stop, it's not rude to walk away. You told them no. They chose to keep going after you. If it gets to the point to where they're continually going and continually high pressure, that's harassment. Just walk away. Tell them no, hang up, tell them to leave. And that's it. So, hey, I thank you for watching Mr. Mig's videos. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comment section. Remember, like, share, and subscribe to my videos, and I hope to see you next time. Take care. Have a great day.